Addiction is a disease of the mind, body, and spirit. And here I share my personal recovery journey. I share what I've had to do to get me to where I'm at today to overcome addiction, and not just overcome addiction, but how to balance my mental health. There's a lot of research available. And by me actually diving deep and researching addiction on the brain, trauma on the brain, dysfunction on the brain, and all these things contributed to why my brain became the way it became. When I started really looking differently and learning differently about addiction and how it affects the chemicals in a person's brain, I learned that it can take 2 to 3 years for the brain to level out after active addiction. And that was the most vital information that I had ever heard about throughout my entire journey. And the reason is because when I learned that information, it made me realize that when I am sad, when I am mad, when I become depressed or low or high, that's not who I am as a person. It is just my brain trying to level itself out. My brain is trying to heal after being in active addiction for 15 years. So the brain rejects anything that's not familiar. So for me, I started off in 12-step programs, and it took me about a decade to finally take the program seriously, because I would come in 12-step programs and I wouldn't understand the concepts or the vocabulary. I didn't believe that the program wouldn't work for me. It was a foreign language to me. So although I knew I needed to change, my brain didn't want to change because it wasn't familiar. So, like I said, the brain rejects anything that is unfamiliar, even if it is good for us. So I had to force myself to keep coming back to meetings, keep coming back to meetings. When I started recovery, I did 2 to 3 meetings a day. I did whatever it took in my recovery to get me to where I'm at today. And I found that there's more than 12-step meetings out there. There's Refuge Recovery, there's Life Ring, there's Recovery Dharma. There's so many different recovery programs available. And I'm just now finding this type of information out with being in recovery for 3 years. So, like, there is so much more information I don't know that eventually I will know, because I will continue to do the research that I do, and I am addicted to growth. I had to get my brain familiar with being sober, with feeling my emotions.